We are live from America Fest, and along with me, of course, as always, is Matthew Peterson. He's our editor-in-chief of Blaze News, and what a way to kick it off with none other than Jack Posobiec. He's a senior editor at Human Events and a best-selling author. And Jack, we were out there and seeing the doors open, everybody coming through, and you were the one here when you had your show, getting the crowd fired up. Everybody is ready to be here in Phoenix at America Fest right now.
Well, Jill, thanks so much for having me on again. Doc Peterson, always a pleasure. Folks who don't know, by the way, I am a recovering student of Dr. Peterson here from the Claremont Institute, where they very foolishly just woke up one night and Peterson was like, just throwing darts at Twitter and decided to give me a chance at coming in the Lincoln program, and just very grateful for the way that you gave me that opportunity 5 years ago, and also stood up to all of the very foolish people who got so upset at you for thinking that we could actually perhaps have a new way forward for nationalist populist politics, and possibly might have to break a few eggs on the way there.
Yes, and I didn't throw anything at the wall. I watched you for 2 years, and I was like, we got to get this guy. You know what was funny about that is, thinking back on that now, all those people who were so upset about you becoming a Lincoln Fellow and about the changes that we made and the direction we were moving, not a single one of them is doing anything right now. They're all gone.
Completely gone. They're not in the zeitgeist. I mean, if I went around here, no one would know their names, and that's really the end of it. That's really the end. But yeah, this America Fest, as it stands now, is the largest grassroots meeting of the populist nationalist movement, and you hear all the different events that are going on, the speakers, Charlie Kirk, of course, putting it together with the incredible Turning Point and Turning Point Action team, and it represents a very different, I mean, you've got like social conservatives, and you've got Tea Partiers, and you've got fiscal conservatives, but then you have like the Maha crowd and the RFK types, and you've got the what did the Wall Street Journal say? The angry veterans. Yeah, I love the angry veterans. They said.
I wonder why they're angry.
Yeah, they said Donald Trump keeps staffing his cabinet with angry GWAT veterans like Tulsi Gabbard, Pete Hegseth, and J.D. Vance. And I'm like, I love that moniker,
Yes.
angry veterans.
Yes.
That's perfect. And I served in as well at Guantanamo Bay, and angry veterans is the perfect way to tell it. You lied to all of us about the global war on terror. We signed up because we thought that we were doing the right thing for our country. I joined the intel community through Navy Intel, and I thought, hey, I want to go and I want to be in uniform and I want to serve. And then we got there and found out what was actually going on and said, whoa, you guys lied to me. And they said, well, you guys won't do anything about it. And as it turns out, we did.
What I love about this, Jill, is that Jack mentions all these different groups here and the energy of this event, and how people in the past who were complaining about a new way forward for the right aren't here anymore. But now this isn't just some small group of people, non-influential, out of power. This is the event where the people who are connected to the rising tide that is in power, right, are all congregating, and that's a very different feel than in the past.
To wit, I mean, I kind of think Mike Johnson just ended his speakership by canceling his event at this event, canceling his speech at this event, and of course that's predicated on his actions in Washington. But the fact that he pulled out of AmFest, I mean, that is sort of like, it's like not showing up at the Olympics or something. I don't know how to put it.
Jack, when you were going through that list of the different conservative factions, I'm like, that's a list right now of everybody that's angry at Speaker Mike Johnson, right?
It really is. And by the way, I shouldn't forget. I should not leave out the Mama Bears, the Moms for Liberty, and the student boards, and the the men and women sports. All that it is, which is kind of part of Maha, I feel like. But it's just there's so many different coalitions.
Yeah. But we're seeing a major blowback against the CR bill this week now, and it's so interesting because everybody wants to go out and be friends with Elon Musk and take their picture and do all the cool things, except for when it comes time to actually trying to reduce and rein in some of this stuff. Then they're like, oh, you know what? Can we save that for the 119th Congress? Let's wait for that.
It's amazing because You know, I started my show earlier today here at America Fest, and we had this incredible crowd out, and I, you know, I'm the kind of guy, I see something like that and I see opportunities. My eyes just start glittering. I say, oh, I have opportunities for mischief. Excellent. And so, you know, and where I'm from in Philadelphia area, we used to call it Mischief Night. You know, they don't call that in other parts of the country the night before Halloween. And so what I thought was, let's do an A/B test of the crowd. I said, crowd, who here thinks, and answer the question, yes or no, should Mike Johnson keep his job as speaker? The crowd roared, just roared.
It was very loud.
No. And should he step down? Yes. Should Elon Musk be speaker? Yes. I mean, it just, you know, unequivocal. And the idea being that it's business as usual, and you had so many people in DC, it's almost impossible for me to believe that there were folks who actually thought that it was all sort of lip service, and that you could sit around and ride on Trump Force One and go to the UFC rallies, and that's they kind of are like UFC rallies in a sense, and you do the walk-ins with Trump, and have all these opportunities. But at the end of the day, Elon Musk didn't build his companies by, you know, just sitting there and posting memes. I mean, that's the fun part, and sure, we all have fun doing that. Myself might be a little more than most, but the essential point of it is, don't forget that email that Elon sent Parag Agrawal, who was the former CEO of Twitter, now X, when he's complaining, why are you going on X and trashing the board? Why are you attacking us? Why are you doing all this? It's causing all these problems, blah, 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 blah. And Elon just responds back to him, what did you accomplish today? What did you accomplish today? And the fact of the matter is that Elon is a practical guy, he's a pragmatic guy, but he's also the kind of guy who does not accept excuses.
Exactly.
He never has. And that's actually calling you to excellence. And so this Washington, D.C. narrative of, oh, you know, we'll get him next time, and we had to do it this way, but that'll put us in a better position for this. No. In the military, we used to have this phrase, what is the maximum effective range of an excuse? And the maximum effective range of an excuse is 0.
No, and we've been saying this for years. I've been saying this for years, trying to tell people, look, it's not going to be the same. The people don't care. And now finally that's catching up with everyone, because you have a group in power who is going to hold people accountable and not suffer fools gladly. And they're going directly to the people, right? I mean, it's instantaneous when the CR came out. Like, this is the dream for years, right? Immediately on X.
Almost sounds like you're talking about some kind of democratic interaction with our elected leaders.
Very
that
interesting.
Could,
like a representative democracy.
like a
I can't have that. No.
The way things are done.
No. What?
Very uncomfortable.
Representing the people. I mean, that's just crazy talk.
I loved it earlier today on X. Bill Ackman came out and he said, you know what? All these bills that we're putting forth, they should be footnoted and have the person who is actually trying to add all of the pork, you have to attach your name to it, and you have to let the American people see who is adding
That's great.
all of the crap that we don't want. And then maybe that is a nice deterrent. Elon was like, that's a great idea. Don Jr. is like, yeah, that sounds pretty great. But it's at this point in time, Jack, that it feels like different options now are on the table. It's not just going to be business as usual. Things are changing.
Well, here's what it is. It's that, look, organizations like Claremont, like Human Events, like the Blaze, we've been talking about this stuff for years. We've been talking about it for years, absolutely. But here's the problem is, in the Republican Party, and certainly within the country, but even within the party, nobody was taking it seriously. Because the party, boys and girls, and I'm sorry if I have to, break a few hearts with this one, the party actually cares about money more than it cares about voters, or at least the original party, the old party. So the Republican Party cared a lot more about money than it cared about you. That's why it always seems like special interests got their way with these bills, because, well, they were the ones who were authoring them, which, by the way, the answer to Ackman's question is, it's not the congressmen who are writing them, it's the lobbyists, and who the lobbyists are then representing. This has been the process. So Claremont's understood that, the Blaze has understood that, Human Events has understood that, but you didn't have this level of scrutiny from some of the most powerful people, the richest people on the planet, looking at it saying, wait a minute, we said no pork. That means actually no. And so if you can't put up something clean, President Trump has the ability to do what Scott Adams calls the new CEO move. And the new CEO move is to make a big change right at the front that sets the narrative for the entire rest of their tenure. Well, now, CEO's tenure is a little bit longer than 4 years, but sometimes less. They don't do so well. So it could be, 24 hours ago, I didn't know if I would say this, or maybe even 48 hours ago now, but at that point ago, I didn't know that I'd be saying that, but I'm going to say it now. It looks like President Trump's new CEO move might be changing out the Speaker of the House.